Really?
You could put JD on your advertisement.
I've seen that on
but you can't say you're an attorney. So you have to be active and in good standing.
Really?
So if you're the loan officer, make sure you go to the bar site, make sure they're active. Are they in good standing? They got a bunch of dings on the record. Just check that out. But again, it's you're tied into what the agent is saying. If they tell you something about themselves, I'm a licensed engineer, good standing. You got to make sure you go out and check that out before you do that. Yep. All right. Oh man, Santa Claus is coming to town. All right. So the Burgermeister. The Burgermeister, is this guy a villain or was he a true compliance hero?
I don't even think I've seen this movie.
Oh man. So the Burgermeister's up there in the top right in the suspenders. All right.
Okay.
So these are the stipulated facts. So Kris Kringle starts delivering toys under the cover of night. He's breaking into homes.
Yeah.
He's stealing milk and cookies.
What?
And he's eating them.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do.
We call that trespassing. We call that burglary. And we call the eating of the cookies, that's conversion of property. He's changing it.
Okay.
So those are 3 violations. So that's we know that happened. What happens? The Burgermeister trips on a toy truck while leaving City Hall doing the people's business.
Right.
As a good compliance guy, what does he do? He puts in a new rule. So toys are illegal, immoral, unlawful, and anyone found with a toy will be placed under arrest and thrown into a dungeon. So based on that, Burgermeister, we get kind of a second look at him, kind of like the FBI with Mr. Potter,
right?
In It's Wonderful Life,
right?
So Burgermeister, he slipped on a toy. It's dangerous. He doesn't want the town folk getting in trouble. So what does he do? Bans of toys.
You can't do that.
Hero or bad guy?
Bad guy.
I said Ken can stay earlier. He can't stay.
He's a hero?
He's a hero.
How?
He is a hero. He is a compliance hero.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's get into New Year's resolutions 2022. The company that you keep in mind. Again, this is always going to be a question of fact when we're doing these holiday parties and things like that. It's going to come down to we're looking at gifts, we're looking at holiday parties, we're looking at co-marketing. It always comes down to a question of fact. So we got to be smart about that. What's the intent? What's the timing? Deferring expenses, relationships, frequency, volume. All that kind of fun stuff.
I love the paper trail part because if you're afraid to put it in writing, you might be doing something wrong.
And when somebody always wants to have a phone conversation with you on something and they don't want to exchange emails, that kind of tells you where that's going. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you from firsthand experience with lenders, once you get into an investigation, you have lost control. You can't say, hey, we learned our lesson.
Right.
Please leave. That agency might camp out for a while. So it's going to be a loss of control. It's going to be based on the best information available, which is that paper trail to say, hey, we looked at this, we looked at that.
Yep.
So you got to be smart about that. So because that RESPA, we've talked about this so many times, it's probably the most important regulation out there because there's so much potential for abuse for the people that are out there not doing it the correct way.
Yeah, it's interesting. I talked to a guy who actually signed an enforcement agreement as the guy that had done something wrong. And he said, worst ever situation he could ever experience. And it wasn't even his money, it was his company. Yeah. But just being there, having the CFPB in his office, having to talk to them, having to he said he was scared every single meeting. So yeah, and if, there might be 2 houses available in the entire state of California right now. Yeah. And that leads to a lot of bad decisions. Right. People have got to make money and they just start making promises and doing things. And that's when the agency is going to show up eventually because somebody's going to talk, and then you're just stuck. Yep. All right. So good. What do you think? What do you think about RESPA going forward? I mean, mainly I think Burgermeister's not a hero. So
Burgermeister is a hero. He is a compliance hero. He is at the center of my vision board. I love the Burgermeister. He slipped on a toy duck. He broke his leg. And he fixed it. All
right, I will commit this to you. As soon as Thanksgiving happens, when I'm allowed to watch Christmas movies, because I don't watch Christmas movies or listen to Christmas music until after that, all right. I will watch it, and we'll have this conversation later.